for the QuickLoadz 26K Super 40. This is video 4, Loading and Unloading, with a container. The other available videos include 1. Quick Loading Overview, 2. Trailer Overview, and 3. Loading and Unloading without a container. For training purposes, it is suggested that all videos are watched in order. Normal operation, or phone mode, the brain box, either manually through the front switches or through the onboard computer and Wi-Fi network, controls the engine, camera, and hydraulic manifold. This shows the normal operating settings: phone operation, bumper, lift wedge, tilt, lock, chains, and feet in the middle positions. The engine is in engine stop. The engine is in the stop position because the engine switch will override the phone control. Therefore, a Wi-Fi device will be unable to stop the engine if it's in the engine run position. The power switch should be in the up or trailer light position. The neutral position turns off power completely. The down position runs the brain box off the trailer's pony engine battery. There is a pressure gauge to show hydraulic pressure while operating the system. The camera is powered off of the trailer lights. If the power switch is in pony engine power and the trailer lights are not on, the QuickLoadz will function, but the camera will not. Manual operation mode. For manual operation, switch from phone operation to regular pressure, switch from trailer light to pony engine, and switch from engine stop down to engine run. The fuel pump will audibly come on. The red power light should become illuminated. Push start to start the engine. All of the functions can be operated by the switches in manual mode with the engine running. There is one function that can only be operated in manual mode: the hydraulic feet or landing gear. This is how you connect and disconnect the trailer from the truck. This is a safety feature. There is no way a driver can accidentally lower the feet while driving. Manual mode is needed to raise or lower the landing gear. These switches are on regular pressure, pony engine, and engine run. Momentarily press start. The landing gear or feet may now be raised or lowered. Once the feet are fully down, the tongue weight is off the truck, and the truck can be disconnected. For road operation, the feet must be fully retracted. For normal operation, return switch positions to phone operation, trailer light, and engine stop. If attempting to operate the trailer from a phone or tablet, there is a reduced pressure or flow, or otherwise the trailer acts odd. More than likely, the trailer has been left in manual mode. Simply return the operation switch to phone operation from either high pressure or regular pressure. Do not run the trailer from a phone or Wi-Fi device while in manual mode. If attempting to operate the trailer while in manual mode from your phone, both the front pressure switch and the phone are trying to tell the trailer how to operate. Generally, this will cause a loss of flow and power, but can result in unusual behavior. Connecting a Wi-Fi device. No internet connection is needed, no cell phone service is needed, nor are there any apps to download. The system is self-contained. This is the QuickLoadz brain box. Normally, it is powered by the trailer lights. If you don't see a red power light on, check that the power switch is up in the trailer light position, and that your trailer lights are on. The green Wi-Fi light tells you that the controller is awake and sending out a Wi-Fi signal. Every QuickLoadz trailer carries around in its brain box a computer and a Wi-Fi router. You do not need a cell phone signal. You do not need the internet. The brain box is self-contained and has everything you need on board to operate it with a Wi-Fi device. If the power light and Wi-Fi lights are on, you can connect. The directions are printed inside the lid. To connect, go to Settings on your phone or Wi-Fi device. Click on Wi-Fi and choose the QuickLoadz network. Your phone or Wi-Fi device might already be connected to another network. Click on the QuickLoadz network and connect. If antivirus software comes up, ignore it. Many phones and devices will say that QuickLoadz does not have internet access. That is fine. Internet access is not needed to use QuickLoadz. If your iOS device does not have a Wi-Fi icon in the status bar, go back to Settings, choose Cellular, scroll down, and make sure Wi-Fi Assist is disabled. Once connected to the QuickLoadz Wi-Fi network, open a web browser such as Chrome or Safari. If it's your first time connecting, it can take up to 30 seconds. In the address bar, type in 10.10.0.1. These directions are printed on the lid. After connecting for the first time, the browser will usually remember the address. First time connecting can take up to 30 seconds. The QuickLoadz login screen will show up. Type in your username and password. Press Login. The control screen will now come up. First time connection can take up to 30 seconds. To use the rear view camera, press the camera button. The rear view camera should appear. Press Close to close it. The functions are engine start and stop, bumper in and out, locks in and out, bed up and down, wedges up and down, chains in and out. Loading. Begin loading by starting the engine. Press Engine Start. Slide out the locking pins by pressing Locks Out. Visually verify in your rear view mirrors that the locks have fully slid out. If the locks are not fully out, then when loading or unloading, there is a good chance of bending a lock or breaking a chain. With any trailer, tow or QuickLoadz, loading a 40-foot container onto a 40-foot trailer and starting misaligned will cause the container to bind on the sides of the trailer, or worse, slide off. Therefore, it is very important to start out straight. QuickLoadz is specifically designed such that QuickLoadz will not grab the end of the container unless the container and QuickLoadz are closely aligned, thereby avoiding starting poorly aligned. QuickLoadz dual chains and rear guide wings keep the container and trailer straight. With empty containers, you can count on them to force the trailer or container into alignment. But with heavy containers, something will have to give. If new to backing a trailer or QuickLoadz, it is suggested to back up with the lift wedges up, as to avoid accidentally damaging the container. The driver backs up the QuickLoadz square with the container. In this way, the driver can use the sight line down the trailer bed and rear view camera to see if the trailer and container are aligned. By pressing the camera button on the driver's smartphone or tablet, the control screen can be toggled to the rear view camera. It is often convenient to use two Wi-Fi devices to operate the QuickLoadz and see the rear view camera at the same time. Pull the trailer forward approximately 1 foot so it is not touching the container. Once the driver knows that the trailer and container are aligned, release the trailer brakes and slide the axles forward by pressing the bumper in button. The bumper in button uses the 4-inch cylinder to slide the trailer axles forward 10 feet. Slide the axles all the way forward. Failure to slide the axles all of the way forward can result in damage to the bumper and undercarriage when the trailer tilts. Lower the lift wedges by pressing the lift wedges down button. Tilt the trailer bed up by pressing the tilt up button. Tilt the trailer bed until the rollers just barely touch the ground, as seen in the rear view camera. Back the trailer up to the point it is touching the end of the container. Recap. Verify the locking pins have been fully slid out. Back up to the container with your lift wedges raised. Once square with the container, pull forward slightly. Slide the axles all the way forward. Lower the lift wedges. Tilt the bed until the rollers just touch the ground. Back up until the rear of the trailer touches the end of the container. It is very important that the container is touching both of the rear rollers on the back of the QuickLoadz trailer. This is a deliberate design. When pulling a 40-foot container onto a 40-foot trailer, if they start crooked, the container will become more crooked as the loading continues. Continue loading. Press the wedges up button to grab the container end. As soon as the lift wedges touch the container, release the truck and trailer brakes so that the lift wedges can pull the trailer under the container. Put the truck in neutral. Make sure the wheels on the truck and trailer are straight. Make sure the trailer is in line and touching the container. Release the truck and trailer brakes. The lift wedges can now lift the end of the container 6 inches. The grab hooks can go into the container corner castings from underneath. With an empty container, the truck and trailer brakes can be left engaged, and instead of pulling the trailer under the trailer can pull the container onto it. However, this will drag the container. With a loaded container, the trailer must be pulled under the container. Press wedges up to lift the end of the container 6 inches. Press chains in to run the grab hooks into the container corner castings from underneath. It is important that the grab hooks go into the container corner castings on both sides of the container. Example of loading a container that isn't lined up. In this case, the trailer is not touching the end of the container on both sides. As the lift wedges pick up the container, the passenger side lift wedge is just barely on. As the chain drives are engaged, the driver side grab hook goes into the corner casting from underneath, as it should. The passenger side grab hook misses the corner casting completely. Back to correctly aligned loading. Once the grab hooks have gone into the corner castings and the end of the container is just on the bed, stop the drive chains. This point can be seen on the rear view camera. It is very important to lower the lift wedges at this point by pressing the wedges down button. If the lift wedges are not lowered, they will catch on the container cross members. Once the lift wedges are fully lowered, press the chains in button to pull the trailer under the loaded container. The grab hooks and the container corner castings are pulled by the drive chains, which then pulls the trailer under the container. Normally, the driver is sitting in the truck, steering the truck and trailer to keep the trailer straight with the container. The guide rails will help visually. With an empty container, the guide rails can force the container to stay straight by forcing the opposite end of the container to move. This will not work with a heavy container. Neither the trailer nor the container will move. Something will give. Do not use the guide rails to attempt to force a heavy container into alignment. Once the container has started to load, tilt the bed down by pressing bed down to keep the guide rails against the container. This allows the guide plates to continue to keep the trailer and container together. Also, if the container begins to go crooked, it keeps the guide from going underneath the container and catching on the container cross members. When things go wrong, the driver lets the trailer and container go crooked. The safest choice is to run the chains rearward and straighten the container and trailer. However, if the container and trailer are not severely crooked, the bed can be tilted to continue loading. In this case, the trailer and container are going crooked. The guide plate is pressed against the container. The truck and trailer are going crooked with each other, and therefore the container. With an empty container, the trailer and container are not too crooked. Simply tilt the bed, and the guide plates will force the container straight. Alternatively, lock the trailer plates, and use the chains to pull the container onto the trailer. If the container is between the guide plates, the container brakes can be set, and the dual drive chains will tend to straighten out the container. This will cause the container to be pulled across the loading surface and damage it. On gravel, it won't matter. Back to correctly aligned loading. Continue to adjust the bed tilt to avoid placing all of the container weight on the rear of the trailer, while keeping the guide plates next to the container. When the container end leaves the ground, the trailer will stop moving. Be aware and be ready to brake should the truck and trailer start to roll. Sometimes, with a heavy container, the lift wedges can assist the very end of the loading process by using the lift wedges to lift and place the end of the container on the bed. Once the container is fully on the trailer, press the Locks In button to lock the containers to the bed. The hydraulic locks will usually push through any mud, rock, ice, or snow. However, be sure to check by looking in your rear view mirror that all 4 of the container locks are in. Tilt the bed down by pressing bed down. With the trailer brakes released, run the rear axles all the way back by pressing bumper out. Before venturing onto public roads, remember that QuickLoadz has 4 container locks that keep the container onto the trailer. These locks slide sideways into the container corner castings. QuickLoadz uses side locks to provide a visual check in the rearview mirror if the locks are engaged. When in doubt, get out and check. Here is a lock that is not slid in all of the way. Check in the rearview mirror, or if you aren't comfortable with that, get out and look. In this case, the Locks In button simply was not held in long enough. Unloading. First, always press the Locks Out button until the locks are fully out. Lower the lift wedges by pressing wedges down until the lift wedges are fully down. Slide the wheels forward by pressing bumper in until the wheels have fully slid in. Tilt the bed by pressing bed up until the rear rollers just touch the ground. Start to unload the container by pressing the Chains Out button. With some practice, it is possible to unload a container without stopping. Allow the chains to push the trailer and truck out from underneath the container. It is important to keep the truck, trailer, and container straight while unloading. This video shows the container moving rearward after the tilt. It is possible to move the container rearward so that 2 feet hang off of the back of the trailer before tilting the bed. By having the rear of the container hang off the back of the trailer 2 feet, when the trailer is tilted, the rear of the container can be placed exactly where desired. With the truck in forward and the Chains Out button pressed, the truck will help pull the container off of the trailer. When the corner casting of the container appears in the rearview camera, stop the Chains Out function. Press wedges up until the lift wedges have moved all the way up. At this point, the full weight of the container is on the lift wedges. Press Chains Out until the chains have fully moved rearward to their stops. Shift the truck into drive and give it a little more throttle to put some forward pressure on the container. Press wedges down to gently lower the container the last 6 inches to the ground. Once you have pulled free of the container, press bed down until the bed has fully tilted down. Press bumper back until the wheels have fully moved back. Press Locks In until the locks are fully in. Press wedges up until the lift wedges are up. This concludes the detailed instructions on loading and unloading with the 26K Super 40. QuickLoadz, the fastest, easiest way to move sea shipping containers ever invented. Thank you.